Namaste, my dear friends, it's Becca. So lovely for you to join me today in your investment of health for this 20 to 25 minute creative Vinyasa flow. This particular session is really inspired by my upcoming Belize yoga holiday. That's February 6th to 10th of 2017. And if you do want any more information on it, I would be super honored for you to come play yoga with me on a dock in Placencia. And so you can find out a little bit more checking out BeccaPatiYoga.com. That's BECCAPATI yoga.com. And I would be very honored to accept any more requests of information that you might have. So this 20 to 25 minute session is really based around the idea of being a gypsy spirit. And I think that it's very interesting when we think of that word gypsy and combine it with spirit, a lot kind of comes up for us. And for me, I sort of look at that and I think, what adjectives could I use to describe that feeling that I have when I hear gypsy spirit? And so, freedom, travel, creativity, wanderer, wild child. And so there's a few that I'm sure you can resonate with, and maybe there's others that you certainly have as well. And maybe not to the fullest extent are we all completely 100% of those words, but I think that because of circumstances and situations, and I can only speak for myself, of course, that sense of individuality and authenticity that is quite strong within myself through situations and circumstances gets squashed. And I guess my intention for us today is to experience that real sensation of diving deep inside of ourselves to express, to explore. And so the journey isn't always, as a gypsy spirit, to necessarily travel to different places. And certainly I love to jump on a plane and go, let's be honest. But what I'm hoping for us today is that through the flow of spirited essence, we can somehow journey to places that we have not explored as maybe we wish we would have. And so this becomes almost like an unveiling of that deepest sense of who you are. And I'm hoping that we find our own expression through this. So less of perfection and more of openness and honesty and modifications. I look forward to playing with you for this next 20 to 25 minutes. Enjoy the journey, my friends. Namaste. Namaste, my dear yogis. It's Becca Pati, and here we are together getting ready to celebrate our gypsy spirit and all of the awesomeness that comes along with that. The journey will be what you need it to be today. So take it slow, advance your practice, whatever it is that's feeling really authentic for you. I prefer that than getting caught up in exactly the way that my body looks versus what yours does. I have my own issues that I'm moving through physically, so if you do find that you have an advancement or you need a modification that you're aware of, please go ahead and rock that out today as well. So let's actually come down into a child's pose, okay? Let's allow ourselves to drop down onto our knees and let the toes point back behind us. And maybe you let the knees come out a little bit wider than normal as you start to settle your heart down in between the thighs. And if you are wondering what my leggings are, because I'm sure you all are, just a little side note, I found these in San Diego. They are sugar skulls, and I'm very excited about them. Just a little side note. Okay, so we're coming down into our wide leg child's pose, and we want to feel like you're kind of just letting everything go, letting the whole heart settle down and towards the mat. The forehead relaxes on towards the ground, and you can actually feel the sensation of the third eye space that's in between your eyebrows, and start to move that a little bit side to side for yourself. I do know that personally when I do this, I kind of get rid of a little bit of excess tension that sits there. We're such a society of overthinkers and needing to control, and this is why this whole spirited flow is really, to me, necessary sometimes, just to let go and have fun, right? There's nothing wrong with that. And we'll start to roll our spines coming up, so we're sitting onto the shins, and if you need to bring your knees in just a little bit closer, feel free. Roll open through the heart space. Inhale, let's rise. Let's focus on the breath, because that's very, very important in our practice. As you bring the palms down and towards the center, bowing the chin in towards the chest. And then we'll take an inhale, rise the arms up. We'll do this 2 more times, okay? So you'll elevate, and then take the hands down in towards the heart center. We've got 1 more, so here we go. Take an inhale, we rise. And as you do, exhale, we're allowing all of what restricts us to move outside and letting it go completely. And then curl yourself forward. Hands can stretch out. Let's work it out into a puppy pose. So keep walking forward. Maybe your knees come back a little bit as you slip your heart down towards the floor, and go slow with this, okay? So, you know, instead of bouncing, just allow your heart, it's like a breath. So we inhale, come up a little bit, and then exhale, drop it down a little bit, and notice how your shoulders feel. This is my right one, but it'll look like your left, is really quite sore. So I start to have to really breathe into this area in order for me to open it up. And maybe again, the forehead can come down to the floor. If you do have more mobility, you might allow your chin to come down to the ground, but only if there's no pain in the shoulder joint themselves, okay? So just take note of that. Letting the whole heart sort of soften. We'll hold here for 1 more big breath in. And as you exhale, you'll start to safely walk yourself all the way back, upright hands, all the way down to the floor. Tuck your toes under and just send your hips back to your heels. So without going into a downward dog quite yet, just focus on the bottoms of your feet. And so as you press into the hands, really anchor down your hasta bandha, which is basically your hand lock. It's like your hands go onto the floor, right? So you're pushing down, you open up, roll the outer edges of your shoulders away from your ears and let your head soften. So my body's stopping my head from completely dropping down to the floor, which is okay. I'm feeling it in the bottoms of my feet a little bit, which is where you should be. And then come forward slightly so that you can lift up and elevate back into a downward facing dog. So now allow there to be a pedaling motion in through the feet. Notice how the hands are really rooted down and towards the floor. Be strong. So watching in your downward dog that we're not hanging. Like, I know there's so many variations of downward dog, but see if you can actually pull up a little bit to feel stronger. And then inhale, your right leg goes up to the sky. And yes, I am mirroring you, so it is my left leg, but it is your right leg. So gaze forward and step the foot all the way up towards the top of the mat. But go so light that the foot just goes, right? It just lands. But if it doesn't and it goes, you know, slams down to the floor, that's fine. You walk your back foot a little bit further away so you've got some feeling of length. And then let your right hip drop back, left hip rolls forward. Let's rise the arms up. So this is pretty basic. You've probably done this 1,000 times, or if you're new to yoga, maybe just a few times, but crescent lunge. So watching the rib cage, right? The tendency is to sort of hang here, but we want to be strong through self and really feel the containment of the core. And then within that, if you have a practice where you open up a little bit more into a heart lift your heart. Then take your right hand to your hip, take your left fingertips down towards the floor, roll in your shoulder and allow your heart to open up towards the right hand side, and then lift up your right hand, or maybe you send your hand all the way towards the back. So there's a twisting. Your front shoulder has to roll in order for this to be successful. Watching that you're not letting go of that, but keep the big toe mound on the right side, dropping down to the floor. Nice, so 1 more big inhale. And as you exhale, take your hands both to either side of the front foot. You'll crawl your hands out a little bit wider. This back knee is going to touch this front elbow. You guys got this. Exhale, left knee to left elbow. Step it back. All right, so inhale, hold. Exhale, use the core and tap. And then bring it back. Good, you got one last time. Here we go. So let's bring it all the way up. You're going to give a little bit of a tap. Now step your left foot down, take your right foot and send it all the way to the back and start to straighten out through your left leg, okay? So as you're straightening out the left leg, start to allow the breath to flow. Inhale, lengthen up, and exhale, drop it down. So as you're letting your body slowly shift into a bit more of that pyramid stretch, you might have to bend out your knee. Maybe you lift it up and you pull the quad up in towards the body. And if you've got a little bit more space, you can start surrendering your hands back towards the back of the mat. Allowing your head to drip down to the floor. Hold out here for 1 more big inhale. And as you exhale, bend out through the front knee. Let's just come up onto the peace fingers and open up the heart a little bit further. Your hands will gently ground down to the floor and your steps to the back of the mat. Your hands root down to the floor. Let's all make our way to the floor if you like. Exhale, take it down all the way, chest lands on thumbs. Point your toes away, anchor the tops of your feet, and elevate up into a little cobra or full cobra. And send it back into a downward facing dog. So you elevate up the hips. Nice. So just feel the opening of the tops of the shoulders. So instead of squeezing your shoulders together, do the opposite. Roll open. And then send your hands towards your feet. Hands towards feet. Inhale, peace fingers to floor, or hands to shins, half lift. And exhale, we dive it down into forward fold. Come up to standing. Take an inhale, swan dive high. Palms to touch. And exhale, take your hands into the heart center. Inhale, waste no time. We rise up. Exhale, the hands come into the heart center. Let's do this again. This is all about fulfillment. Fill your heart up. Palms make their way to touch. And then bring it down into the heart center. Take your fingertips behind your ears. Balance on your left foot. Inhale, up goes your right knee to the 90-degree angle. All right, it's elbow to knee taps. Here we go. Inhale, hold here, getting the balance. Exhale, take your elbow towards your knee. Inhale here. Exhale, take elbow towards knee. Inhale, open up. You've just got one more time. Here we go. Exhale, take elbow towards the knee. Beautiful. Hold it out here. Take your left hand, slide it to the outer edge of the right knee. Open up your heart, and once again, you're sending your right hand back behind you. If that doesn't feel good, keep your hand to the low back or hand onto the hip and just look towards the right hand side. Hold here for 3. Hold here for 2. Hold here for 1. Bring it all the way back to center. Your palms come in towards the heart. You'll take your foot, cross it all the way over. Right leg over left. Exhale, forward fold. So dive it down. Feel the inhale's lightness, just that little bit, right? And exhale, soften it down. Good. You can hang out here, hold, totally fine. Otherwise, for those of you who want to play a little bit, it's cross-ankled crow. Come up high onto your toes, let your ankles go in front of each other. Your knees open up in a diamond shape. Hands come down to the floor. You need to drop down low so that your knees can make their way onto the back sides of your arms and lift up your feet. Hold here for 3. Hold here for 2. Good. One last big inhale, and as you exhale, lower down your crossed ankles, and slowly you can roll your spine, coming all the way back up. You can interlock your hands around your right knee, so you'll bring it up, and as you do so, it's a little bit of that wind reliever pose, right? Sit up tall, allow the knee to open up towards the right-hand side, maybe flex and point out the foot, flex and point out the foot. Nice. And then lower down your foot towards the floor. Take an inhale, arms up. Exhale, soften, forward fold. You can even grab into the backs of the ankles and dive down. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, lower down the palms. And we start to walk with intention out towards our upper push-up position. Shoulders over top of the wrist line or a little bit further forward. Exhale, chaturanga or floor. Let your heart rise. So roll back your shoulders and lift up the heart space. And then take it back into downward facing dog. Feeling super strong in through the hands. And then inhale, take your left leg up towards the sky. You'll gaze it forward, and when you're ready, you'll take your foot all the way up towards the top of the mat. So it's a super soft step, right? Lots of core. There it is. Good. You might have to slide your right heel back a little bit. That's okay. Peel your belly button up off your thighs and take an inhale. Rise your arms up to the ceiling. So let the rib cage draw in. Your upper back is kind of opening up a little bit as well. So instead of either rounding too far forward or squeezing too far back, try and find some neutrality. So the energy can rise and fall in the spine very, very easily. Nice. And then take your left hand to your waist and lower down your right fingertips to the floor. This shoulder is really important. Draw it in first, then take the arm up. Or maybe you can sweep it all the way around towards the back of the room. Yeah, if your arm is too far out, it's going to be a little bit awkward.
So draw the hand in and really feel that the movement's coming from your chest, spiraling mid-back all the way around. Good, hold here for 3. Opening up a little bit more for 2. Getting the big toe mound on your left foot grounded, and then exhale, lower your hands all the way down to the floor. So here we go. We walk the hands forward slightly. Back knee comes to the elbow. You guys got this. Exhale, take a tap. Inhale, send it back. 2 more. Exhale, tap it up. Inhale, bring it back. You got 1 more. Exhale, tap it up. Then step the foot down towards the floor. Take your left leg, step it all the way back, walk, 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 and start to straighten out through your right leg. So it's the inhale rises us up. The exhale drops us into a bowed position, honoring self, becoming aware of what it is that sits inside of us. Maybe you do want to explore a little bit more of that spirited child. Maybe you do want to kind of journey a little bit off the grid. Great, go for it. This is what life is about. Let it go. Find you. Uncover you. 1 more big inhale here. And as you exhale, you'll bend up through the front knee. Let's come up on the peace fingers and really lengthen out through the spirit. Shoulder blades roll back, eyes even lift. You can see my eyebrows are elevated, right? So eyebrows up, and exhale, drop your palms down to the floor. You'll step it back, upper push-up position. Inhale, holding here. Exhale, take it chaturanga or floor. Roll open, upward dog cobra. Back into downward, facing dog. Come forward into upper push-up position. Allow your feet to widen out a little bit, so maybe take them as wide as your mat. Take the right hand and slide it up so it goes further than your face in the center of the mat, and start to spin open towards the left hand side. And as you do, take your left hand up. So if you're hanging out in your shoulder, drop your bottom knee and elevate, or take your hips out just a little bit higher. Okay, here we go. Your fingertips will come behind your ears. That's the top one, okay? So take your bottom knee up. It is elbow to knee, exhale. Hold the knee there, open up, inhale. Exhale, elbow to knee. Inhale, this is the last time. Exhale, elbow to knee. Inhale, open this up. Maybe you grab onto your foot, maybe you don't. Hold here for 3. Rotate the heart open for 2. And then for 1, take the knee into the chest and you'll step it back, upper push-up position. Other side, don't even think about it. Explore what you need to do to make this work for you, right? So left hand, walk it up. Spin open towards the right hand side. Push into the ground. Ground down your fingertips. Lift up your right hands. Hold here. Hold here. All right, open this up. And honestly, if you don't know if I can do it, don't do it. I don't care, right? I mean, I care, but it's not a judgment. You need to maybe go into child's pose right now. Totally fine. Take your fingertips to the ears. Press into the top foot. Take your knee in towards you. Here we go. Inhale, hold. Exhale, take elbow to knee. Inhale, open. Exhale, elbow to knee. Inhale, open. Last time, elbow to knee. Now you can choose to stay here or let the elbow come up, or hand to hip, or hand to sky, or grab onto your foot and send the leg out for 3. Hold here for 2. Hold here for 1, and then slowly bend in the knee. Let your feet come all the way back into a wide position, and slowly lower the knees to the floor. Let the toes come to touch, right? And settle your hips back towards your heels and soften your heart. Allow your mind to move away from all of the drama that it creates around an imperfect yoga practice, and simply the gratitude of moving and expression is way more valuable in the long run than having a perfect form. As long as you're not injuring yourself, we are golden. You are good to go. Outstretch the arms, plant the hands flat. We're moving back into downward facing dog, so you can come forward, tuck the toes, and send up the hips. Allowing the core to be completely contained. Hold here for 3. Inhaling for 2. Exhaling. One more big inhale. And on the exhale, walk your hands all the way back towards your feet. Walk, walk, walk. Inhale, peace fingers to floor, half lift. And exhale, dive it down into forward fold. Come up to standing. So we'll take the swan dive, up we go. And the hands will make their way into heart center. Let's do this 2 more times. Take an inhale, we rise. And exhale, we fall with the hands. One last time. Take an inhale, up go the arms. Palms come to touch, and you bring it all the way down into the heart center. Okay, you guys got this. We'll take the fingertips behind the ears. Open up the heart space. Now balance on your right foot and take your left leg up. So notice my ankle is out a little bit more than here. Really open up, right? The idea is to keep energy flowing in the body. This is a tough one, so you got this. If you need to drop your foot down, drop your foot down. Inhale, we're here. Exhale, take your elbow to your knee. Inhale, come back up. Good. Exhale, elbow to knee. Inhale, come back up. You can see I'm wiggling and wobbling a little bit. Exhale, take your elbow to your knee. Hold here. One more big inhale. Now your hand goes onto the knee. You roll open the heart space. You can drop your hand onto the knee, or sorry, this is not your knee, this is your hip, or to the low back, or all the way back behind you. Keep the opening. Wrap the heart around. Feel the freedom of self starting to express all the way into your back fingertips. Let your light shine, not just inside of you, but also so that you can literally be touching people's lives with who you are. One more big in-breath. And as you exhale, take it all the way back to center. Now your left foot is going to cross all the way up and over. I almost spilled over to the left. Exhale, soften down. So allow your body to just hang out. If you're wanting a bit more relaxation, just grab onto the ankles, let your head go. If you want something that's a little bit more assertive, you start to exhale deeper. Into the creases of your hips you go. You feel your belly pull down to the thighs. Maybe bend the knees if you have to. Good, hold here for 3. Nice, for 2. Pausing here for one more big breath in, and then you start to kind of look up a little bit. You can stay on the exhale fold. Otherwise, you can take your feet a little bit closer together. Hands will come up onto the floor as we work ourselves into our cross-ankled crow. So here we go. We start to come forward. And it's not a perfect science. Your toes are going to make their way up. Squeezing here for 3. Squeezing here for 2. And then for 1, lower down the feet. Slowly roll your spine, coming all the way back up again. So you can feel that. Put your weight into the right foot once again. Wind reliever, interlock, less dominant grip. Take the knee up and in. So there's a nice heart opening here. You can feel it, maybe flex and point out through the foot. Whatever feels good, roll that little guy around. Nice. And then lower the foot all the way down towards the floor. So we'll take an inhale, arms rise. Exhale, soften it down into forward fold. Inhale, lengthen, half lift. Exhale, walk your hands all the way back out into an upper push-up position. Go to downward dog or flow. Chaturanga, upward dog cobra, back into downward facing dog. Right leg, inhale, goes up to the sky. Step it up towards the top of the mat. Walk your hands out a little bit, take your back knee and settle it all the way down towards the floor. So you basically have your toes in line with your knee. If that doesn't work, take your knee back so you're up off of the heel, so the knee doesn't get compressed if that's too challenging. We're working it out into a bind. So option A is to slide your right arm down, take your arm out to the side, left hand reaches left, and drop the crown down towards the floor. And breathe. And if you want more, you're taking the bind, right? So you can do that grip, the Kung Fu grip behind you as you settle down towards the floor. Good, and then hold here, one more big in-breath. And then look up slightly. And maybe you just release the grip or you keep hanging on. So you can either do this with your hands down or onto the low back. As you start to shift your weight back, slide your left heel in front of your sit bones and lift up through your right leg. So hold here, sit up tall. Nice. And then you'll slowly release your left hand to the outer edge of the right foot. Take the right hand behind you and send up the leg towards the ceiling. We're taking a twist towards the right again. So slowly peel open the heart space. Nice. And you can stay here. A couple options. You can bend out through the knee, give it a little bit of a squeezy squeeze and see how you feel with that. If you want to go a bit deeper, you can take your knee, and it's almost like putting a backpack on. I know that sounds a little bit bizarre, but you've probably heard that before. So it's like lifting up your leg and sending the backpack over top, this backpack strap over top of the shoulder. Press down with your left leg, maybe walk it in a little bit, and then take your hands down and elevate. If you've got a little bit more space, you might actually send out your leg in front of you and hold here for 3. Good, hold here for 2, and hold here for 1. Lower your bum down, cross your right leg over your left, and soften into a forward fold. So your forward fold might be here, elbows on the knees. Doesn't really matter, no one's judging. It does not matter, okay? So maybe as you start to practice more, or if you have an injury, you start to work on it through physio, massage, your yoga, and you start getting deeper with breath. Allow all of that to start to dissipate. No expectation. This is all about flow and experience and letting go, right? We're kind of breaking down the barriers of how we perceive the body has to move and just simply moving. Okay, and then roll your spine, coming all the way back up again. You can cross the legs over if you like, tuck them underneath you. You can step it back, jump it back, upward push-up or chaturanga. And then bring yourself into upward dog cobra. And all the way back into downward facing dog. We've got one more side to go. So take an inhale, left leg goes up to the sky. Gaze it forward and step it up towards the top of the mat. Hold it out here. Pull the belly in. Your hands might walk out a little bit as your right knee slides all the way in and lands shin to the floor, toes pointed back behind you. Okay? All right, so you know what we're doing here. You can walk in your foot a little bit if that feels better, but have about a fist width in between the foot and the leg. Your left shoulder slides in, your arm reaches out to the left, and your right hand reaches towards the right. Here you go. Exhale, you bring it down. And again, you can choose the option of gripping. So you push your arm up against the leg and surrender your heart forward. Truly bowing to the internal wisdom of the soul, the spirit. What is it that is craving to jump up out of you? Allow the breath to flow. Holding here for 3. Holding here for 2. And then for 1, you'll roll your spine up part way. Some of you will let your hands go. Otherwise, you sort of let your foot slide in and you lift up your left leg. This is good. Stay here. Sit up tall. You might even do a little twist if you like, whatever feels good for you. And so the options, of course, are going to be the lift or not. But first, we will stretch out through the legs. So take your right hand to the outer edge of the foot. Release your left hand. Extend up the foot. Yogi toes. Push your big toe mound away. Left fingertips can crawl behind you. Sit up tall on the inhale and wrap around heart on the exhale. Nice. Stretching out in through, even like a little bit of the ITs. Watch your leg doesn't go completely over to the side, but I mean, if that's where you're at and that's what you want, more of a stretch here rather than more through hamstring or hip, feel free to go there as well, right? Okay, so options. You're going to bend out through your knee and kind of hug it in. Yeah, like that feels good. That's getting into digestion. You've got, hip flexor situations maybe, or you want to try the lift, or part of the lift, or none of it, right? So the leg goes all the way up and over. Your leg comes all the way up in front of you. You ground down through the hands, you squeeze, and maybe you lift your bum. Maybe not. Right? You're like, no, Becca, that's fine. Or you can take your leg out in front of you for 3. For 2, kind of hard to talk. But for 1, you'll lower your bum all the way down towards the floor, left leg in front of the right, and we'll forward fold. And slowly start to walk yourself all the way back upright. Bring your hands behind you, spin them so that the fingertips are facing away. Drop your feet out wide and just start to windshield wiper the legs a little right and left. Doesn't matter which direction you're in or how far you're going down. You might hold a spot if it feels good to kind of let that go. And then you can bring the feet all the way down to the floor and give your knees a beautiful little hug in towards you. Maybe tucking the chin in towards the chest. And as we lift the gaze, we realize that the yoga journey has really just begun, hasn't it? That even though you're on your mat for these last 25 minutes, that you've really just started the concept of self-expression. And so I wish that whether I see you in Belize in February or you choose to journey solo, that you give yourself the respect and the honor to find your gypsy spirit. And maybe that varies from person to person, as of course it will, but you know exactly what you need to stay true to self. So until we meet again, I honor you, I love you, and I respect you, and I will see you very soon, friends. Namaste.